So I have been journaling for a total of 1,108 days. Let me repeat that. 1,108 days. And here is my current journal right now. This journal I buy off of Etsy. These are Italian, made in Italy, somewhere there. I think in Florence. It doesn't say here. Just says made in Italy, but the brand is called Impresso on Etsy, and it's quite an investment. It's about a $50 journal, but I wanted to talk about how journaling has changed my life. I have been talking about this for the past 3 years, but there is something called in psychology neuroplasticity. I know that it's all like woo-woo on social media. You know, we talk about like manifestation and believing and speaking things into existence. And also speaking things into existence and speaking life over your own life is also biblical, but also I think that going the extra mile of writing it down is the key to unlocking whatever life you want to have. And ever since I was young, I noticed too, like those people that journal have quite a different life. They started out rough in their life, and then they were able to create the life that they want. And the pattern that I was seeing is that it's people who journal. For example, Oprah Winfrey, she journaled. Let me look up famous people that journal. It says Virginia Woolf, Franz Kafka, Ralph Waldo Emerson. I mean, Kurt Cobain, Taylor Swift. I mean, there's way more. Lady Gaga, okay, Oprah Winfrey. But there's truly like, I really believe that when we put pen to paper, it creates magic. And I had been trying to stay consistent with journaling since I was younger. It was like in and out. I'd been journaling since I was 9. There's journals you could see from that point, and I would like draw the house that I wanted and how I wanted to become a doctor one day. I didn't become a medical doctor, but I became an educational doctor. And there's things that happen in my life that I'm like, I wrote that down and spoke that into existence and wrote it into existence. Some examples I have is I've been featured on the Tamron Hall Show. I've been featured on the Cancer Today magazine. What else? I've been on NBC News articles. And I'm not saying this to flex it at all, right? I'm saying it because I know that they happened, because I put myself out there, plus I wrote it down to existence. And it's just, I want you to have that kind of access and to have that kind of gift to yourself and your life. And that's why I'm relentless about talking about journaling all the time. And I think it was 2 days ago, I was journaling for at least 2 hours. I mean, I just have a lot of time right now after work to like journal and, you know, vent everything out. But it's not just venting. Most things I do on my journaling is daydreaming, right? Because I prioritize building my imagination every day, because my work is hard, you guys. I work with a school district, and I work with students who don't particularly have access to a lot of the learning materials that they're supposed to have, and there's a lot of parents that aren't always the happiest. So it's a highly stressful environment, and journaling is a way that it's like a portal right into the life that I want to continue creating. And it's a way of rewiring our own lives and our own mind. And there was a recent Olympian, my friend sent me her video, and let me play it right now. She talks about how we could actually build our own life.
You think before you speak. because you answer questions so quickly and so comprehensively, whether it's about geopolitics or your sport or aerodynamics. Like, can you take us into your brain?
Thank you, Charlotte. That's very kind. Oh man. Do I think? I think overall I'm just a pensive person. Like, I'm an introspective young woman. Like, I spend a lot of time in my head, and it's not a bad place to be. I journal a lot. I break down all of my thought processes. I think I apply a very analytical lens to my own thinking, and I kind of modify it because it's so interesting. You can control what you think. Like, you can control how you think, and therefore you can control who you are. And especially as a young person, like, I'm 22, so with neuroplasticity on my side, I can literally become exactly who I want to be. How cool.
She talks about, I love how she's 22 and she talks about neuroplasticity. And I come from a lot of trauma in my life, you guys. Like, I went through abuse when I was a kid. We lived through poverty, and my mom had her own deal of stuff, but I truly believe that when we journal, yes, like, things are systematic and the system is against us, never created for us. But one thing that we do have is neuroplasticity is on our side. And it's really cool how we can rewire our own brains and also rewire our relationship with writing, because I think a lot of the educational system can traumatize us. There's unicorns that want to be writers, but like, majority of society is now using AI to write, and we are not thinking independently. But I really think that journaling, we can write the life that we want into existence. Like, I'm not a billionaire or multimillionaire, but I do believe that I have the freedom in the way that I think now, and I'm not going into, yes, I go into spirals right when I'm exhausted, but I don't have learned helplessness. I am not spending my whole entire life thinking, oh, I have these kinds of limitations. I have the belief, especially with journaling, that when I want something, I can go and pursue it. I've always had that belief in myself, even when I was younger. Like, don't tell me what to do. Kind of like, don't put your limitations on me. But through journaling, I'm like, I just feel so empowered all the time. And what she described, which is like metacognition and neuroplasticity, that is within us, right? That is within us to spend the time to journal and to recreate our own relationship with journaling. It's hard. And the way that I got more consistent with journaling is that I aim, just like here on YouTube, right? I aim to make it a habit. I made it, I made myself think, like, if I make it to 21 days of consistent journaling, then I'm set for the rest of my life. Just like YouTube. Now that I've surpassed the 21-day mark, it's totally a habit for me to now record on YouTube and speak to you guys. Like, yes, I'm not perfect, but at least I'm showing up to the camera and putting myself out there in the world. But if something were to happen to me tomorrow, right? Not gonna let myself go there, whatever could happen. But if something were to happen, my journals are proof that I tried my very best and that I tried my best, whatever is within my power, whether it was to like speak to God or the gods or my ancestors, and to like reimagine the life that I've been handed down to. Because I do believe that I broke generational curses. My mom and grandma, I mean, I still have the tendencies of being stubborn and stuff, but that's actually a strength now. In their generations, they were seen as crazy, but I totally am thankful that I now see it as my own strength, like being stubborn. But this is proof, right? Whatever's in here, even though I vented, that I reimagined my own future and I took matters into my own hands. So I really encourage you to journal. I want to like make workshops and stuff, let me know if that would be helpful for you. Or if you have questions, like I am totally open to answering comments here. But if journaling is something you've always wanted to do and it's still something you seek to do, a lot of my friends ask me like, how do you stay consistent, right? And I think that's the hardest part, is that we are all busy. We have our own lives to live, work and bills to pay for, or people are traveling or taking care of children. Make sure you have journals where you can see it. And there's no pressure. You are not pressured to write a certain amount of pages. You are not pressured to write, I don't know, a whole entire novel or memoir, but it's really a key for you, right, to be able to recreate your own life and have a more fun experience with journaling. And I really want that for you. So please let me know what you think, or if you have any questions about journaling. And much love. I actually like this background. I think thank you so much for being here and for being in community with me. And have a good night.